All right, do you guys want to talk about video games or what's up?
Yes.
Welcome everybody to Run Button's 2012 Game of the Year podcast series. Might be a series.
It depends how long we
If it goes super long, which it probably will, it'll be a series that
Last year it was 5 hours.
We'll probably release day by day. So listen to this one, come back tomorrow or maybe the day after for the next one. I don't know, but I'm here, Kyle Churchill, that's me, and I got Keith Carberry as usual.
Yep.
And yeah.
I was going to introduce me, but you go right ahead.
Well, you can do it.
All right. No, I'm Keith Carberry.
Wow.
You know what?
You know what? It was way better when you said it.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, and I'm glad you agree.
And also, we've got first time ever new special guest, my friend Miguel Correa.
Hello, hello.
So what we're going to be doing here today is we've all brought all kinds of super contrived, silly lists for Game of the Year. We've all got a personal top 10 list.
Are we going to vote on the most contrived and silly at the end?
Oh, man, yeah.
And none of these lists are on paper, too. So
Yeah, these are ethereal.
these are download-only lists.
We truly are citizens of the year 2012.
I got a new Windows phone. My lists are all in the Office Cloud.
Office Cloud.
Yeah, I typed them out on my computer, and then they were on my phone.
SkyDrive?
In Microsoft Office. Yeah, SkyDrive.
I could probably do something like that.
So it's not in the cloud; it's in the sky. No clouds needed.
No.
Those are pretty close. It's
which is
in the Microsoft Cloud. It's always a sunny day.
If it is it a
Welcome to
SkyDrive or a cloud?
I think SkyDrive, and I'm just guessing, is their stupid branded name for their cloud.
It is, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And no one's driving it. That's why.
All right, so we've all got personal top 10 lists. I think we've all got top 5 small/downloadable games.
Yeah, and I've got 2 more.
And then some of us have special lists. I don't...
How are we starting, and are we doing we're doing like the big Game of the Year stuff last, right?
Yeah, so we'll start with like our ancillary...
Can I start with one of my ancillary ones?
Yeah, you can start with one of... Keith is... I don't know what lists Keith has, but he's really proud of them.
I just love the title of this one.
Wait!
Okay.
That's the title.
Hold
Wait.
on.
It's called Wait, Hold On.
No, I'm just saying, we're going to do, on this podcast, we're all going to be going through whatever kind of special lists that we have, and then on the next one, we're going to be doing downloadable games, and then on the last one, or however this works, finally, we're going to all do our own top 10 overall lists, and then hopefully we're all going to work together to try to come up with a sort of official overall Run Button top 10 games of 2012 list. So that's going to happen.
That was a lot of words you just said.
Including Game of the Year.
All right.
So, yeah, go. You may now start. What is your list?
This is my list of games that I didn't get to this year that I wanted to, called 2012's Top 5, 2013's 2012 Game of the Year list. And these are all the games that I think next year I would think are contenders for this year's... last year's Game of the Year.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah?
I think you might have oversold the title of that list.
Really? You don't like 2012's Top 5, 2013's 2012 Game of the Year?
It seems a little wordy. Go ahead. So these are games you didn't play this year, basically.
Yeah, these are the games that
I have a similar list.
I picked 5 games that I most wanted to play this year that I did not get to play. And these aren't in any specific order. First one, Mark of the Ninja.
Oh, you didn't play that one?
I didn't get to play Mark of the Ninja.
I did play it enough. I really liked it. I like games that are really mechanical, and that game is definitely just all about the mechanics. That's what I enjoyed about it, but not really sure. It didn't grab me. I did play it late, so maybe that's what it was, but
I've heard nothing but like people saying like best stealth game ever made. Every other game developer can go die. This is the only game that there is.
Like, yeah, when people talk about Mark and Ninja, they definitely go like all the way.
Well, I'm gonna be on the other side of that spectrum and say 100% play it because it really is one of the best
right.
stealth games ever made.
Okay, I'll definitely play it. It's like there's nothing stopping me from playing it other than just not having like the time or it never like when I do have the time it doesn't occur to me.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say don't play it. I mean I still think it's a really good game too. And I mean I like stealth games, so yeah, I mean it's totally well made. I just mean it didn't make it on my list, my top 10.
Another, I think, was Mario the Ninja a Summer of Arcade game?
No, it was like...
Or did it come out like right after that?
How could it not be?
It was like sometime in August, September.
I thought it came out in
Get your
September.
shit together, Summer of Arcade.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
like, what was this?
It was a horrible
Dust.
year.
It was just Dust, right?
All right, next, Dust and Elysian Tale.
Yeah.
Elysian or Elysian?
Elysian. Dust.
Dust. These characters have tails.
I also didn't play that one. I have the same list. It's up on. I got it up on the TV here, right here. But instead of picking 5, I just listed like it. I thought it was gonna be like 5 or 6. It ended up being like 20 games.
Yeah, it's
because I didn't have a job for the first half of the year, so there's all these games that I just missed. So go. You can.
Also, the story of Dust is amazing. I got it spoiled for me, but
that's probably one that I'm most excited to play.
Yeah, I got it spoiled for me yesterday because I was listening to the
it's crazy. It's it's nuts. The story.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, I love stories and games. It's like my favorite thing.
I gotta say, like, I don't have anything against furries. Like, that's not my aversion to it. But I gotta say, like, some of the character art in that game is pretty
Can we be clear? Like, that game is not a furry game. Just because they're cartoon animals, like watching.
That's what furries are.
Well, furries are like sexualized. Like
no,
going and watching The Lion King or like Fox and the Hound.
No, Lion King isn't. They're not animal people. They're just animals.
Okay, then
that act
Robin
like
Hood.
people.
If you knew
Robin Hood, yeah, Disney's Robin Hood, yeah.
If you knew the story of Dust, you'd probably like okay with the art. It actually is more polarizing that way.
No, I mean I'm not like against like the furry art. It's just some of the stuff like Dust himself. Like he kind of looks like he's wearing like these teal sweatpants or something. It just looks really weird to me.
It kind of
know what I'm talking about.
If you know the storyline, it'll make sense.
All right.
The sweatpants are way.
So they work the sweatpants in somehow. Yeah. That's fine.
It's like he's the king of sweatpants.
Yeah, like I saw the game and I kind of heard about it and I was like, that seems cool. And then like I didn't hear anybody shit talking the art style of that game, but I heard a billion people shit talking the art of that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was like just like hundreds of people being like, "Oh, back off this game! You don't even know about the game. It hasn't come out yet. Like it's really cool."
I was just gonna say I didn't really see anybody like super hating on like the furry thing. Like I didn't see many furry haters.
Any of that.
Yeah,
but I saw a ton of. I saw not. I don't want to call them like furry defenders. But just people defending the art style of the game. Like there's no
you can say it. They're fur fags. That's not my term, by the way.
They just look at the costumes.
What?
Whose term is it then?
It's people who hate furries.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fur fags.
I've never heard it.
It's a term.
Wait, is that people who hate them or people who love them?
The people who hate furries, that's their term for people that do like
I think this is way too much furry talk for a Game of the Year podcast.
All right, let's back.
And we're not.
I wanted to say one thing for anybody listening, just to clarify. We are definitely going to talk about every single game this year. Yeah, in excruciating detail, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might happen.
After the lists are done, we just go down the alphabet and talk about the ones we missed.
I cannot wait for Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD talk.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. I haven't played it. I didn't have a job.
Don't play it.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Sleeping dogs.
Sleepy dogs, you mean?
Nap pups.
Sleepy dogs. I didn't play that either.
Dogs who sleep.
Yeah. It looks good and fun, and people say that it's nice, so that's why I put it on that list.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Journey was probably like the biggest.
Whoa.
Oh, man, he doesn't have PS3.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This changes everything.
I don't know. My experience with Kyle's PS3 has really made me not want a PS3. Like every time, Kyle, you turn on your PS3, it's like such a fucking ordeal to play anything.
No, it's not.
Well,
it totally is.
It's all the stuff for like we're doing like the marathon, and it's like, oh, let's play this game. Oh, it's a title update. Well, this is gonna take.
Yeah, but you play your
minutes.
Xbox more, so probably it's being updated more constantly.
It's true, but like I can go months and months without playing my Xbox, and then I turn it on. And
yes, the download speeds for updates are like extremely fast.
Yeah,
and then
also it's Microsoft has like update limits where they're like, this can only be so many megs, whereas like PS3 games will just be like, here's half a gig.
I know, like
What?
you
I don't
see,
know,
like
I've seen Microsoft updates like a couple hundred megabytes, and it still goes super quick.
I've
You're
never
right, yeah.
seen that.
They-
That's crazy.
They just do have better servers.
Yeah, like I saw like 100, not hundreds, but like 120 megabytes I've seen for like Crackdown or something, and it went like
Man,
it was
let's
like a
talk
minute.
about megabyte numbers.
then
yeah.
again, $40,000 per patch. They better be.
Wow,
downloaded
that's a
fast.
lot of
Oh yeah, you're right.
that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
It's
I
not that much. I'm kidding.
I don't know if Sony charges for patches, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's not as much.
They probably do, and they give a crappy service. That's just the Sony
They
way.
should. Sony is not in a great place. Maybe they should be charging a little more.
I mean, I don't know how much this has to do with like price or anything, but I definitely like. The only reason I'm thinking this because I'm thinking about how you're talking about the cost of the patch, and I bet you heard about that from the Fez thing.
That was him, and also yes,
Or you.
Well, no one
Sorry.
knew he was pointing at somebody, so
Oh,
you could have
but
played
he
it
was
up.
pointing.
Oh,
he was
sorry.
pointing at me. He meant to be pointing at Miguel.
Oh, you said 40,000.
I said
Yeah,
40
actually.
grand.
Oh yeah. So that's what you're talking about, though.
I'm talking
right?
about the Fez thing.
Yeah, yeah. So like Fez, Phil Fish came out and said like Fez had, or the update for Fez has a potentially save
Well,
corrupting.
the
bug.
first one is a free. Then after each patch is 40 grand.
Oh, okay.
You get your first one free. So
Right,
yeah.
and so Phil Fish was like,
That's how they get you.
"We're-"
That's how they
Yeah.
hook in.
Phil Fish was like, "We're two people. We don't have we can't drop that kind of money to fix a patch," and it was weird because Phil Fish came out and said like, "There's a save corrupting bug. Don't download the patch." Like he's caused this.
I didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I avoided it too. But then he came out later when he said like, "Oh, we're not going to be able to patch it." When he said it would only affect less than. What was it like less than a
It was one-
tenth
it was-
of 1% or something like that?
I think he said like 0.5% of people.
I think it was like 0.1% or something. So it was like that's super low though.
Yeah,
like
that's
he
pretty
caused this whole fervor about it. Like, oh my god, the
Right.
Fez
And then-
patch breaks your game. But then I just went, oh okay, they're not going to fix it, and it's only less than 1%. So I just downloaded it and it was fine.
And then there was like a specific group of people that it was affecting, like people who had like completion like between like 102 and 105% or something.
How how's high?
It's like 107 and a half
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
it's like it's some weird like number. It's like 1.7, 0.2 something.
Yeah.
It's like
But yeah, so the thing the reason I mentioned that in relation to PS3 is because I always keep hearing like from all these indie developers that like Sony is totally awesome to work with and Microsoft is just the absolute worst.
it's because like Microsoft is like that corporate, like everything has to be by the book, and Sony's like, yeah, just do whatever you want.
Sony's a corporation too, but it just sounds like they're
a worse run corporation.
That's why. That's
yeah,
why
you
all
can't argue that. It's like maybe Microsoft is doing something right, but like maybe I'm presuming too much, but I bet Sony would probably be like, oh, your patch has a game breaking bug. Let's not charge you 40 grand to fix that. Anyways,
Yep.
is that your whole list?
Yeah, those are the Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
I've played most of Persona 4, and I really want to play more Persona 4.
Oh, you haven't finished it.
I have not finished
That's
it.
right.
I was pretty close. I was like 70 hours into it.
It's so funny because to see I'm really glad that Persona 4 is starting to get the recognition that it deserves, but it's so funny because I'm seeing all these people talk about it like on the besties. They're like, we got to include Persona 4 for Game of the Year. But in my mind, it's like Persona 4 came out 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Like-
but I think that's because I played it 2 years ago. You played it 4 years ago,
Yeah.
right? And like most of them hadn't played it until this year.
Didn't you play it while they were doing the endurance run?
I watched
Because
they were finishing it when I started.
yeah, because they started the endurance run only 4 months after it came out or something.
Okay,
Like,
well,
they did- it was
probably,
really early.
Probably 3 years ago. Then
Yeah,
I played
exactly.
it.
I did it. Yeah, so it's weird because Persona 4 is like one of my favorite games of all time, but I'm still not sure if it would make it on my list if I played it because there's a bunch of new stuff, but I don't know how much new stuff. Do you play Persona at all?
No, and I mean, it's not. If you're gonna get a Vita for it, I wouldn't get a Vita for it.
I'm probably not gonna get a Vita for it.
You're better off getting a PS3 that has backwards compatibility than getting a Vita. To be honest,
Let me actually. So on Twitter a bunch of times I asked people to write in with their game of the year, with their own personal game of the year picks. Mm-hmm. So let me open that. Oh, I have it right here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here's one. This is from Jared Dalkas. He says, my game of the year is Persona 4 Golden. I have always had an aversion to JRPGs, anime, and social simulations, but Persona 4 is so amazing that I've been willing to set aside my moronic biases and sink 80-plus hours into it. It also made me not regret buying a Vita, a feat I previously thought to be impossible.
Wow.
I have regrets on my Vita. I'll more on that later. I actually sold my Vita.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And my 3DS.
Wow.
I have a 3DS.
I got a Wii U for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you sold your Vita and your 3DS, but then you bought a Wii U. Like,
okay, well, see, that's not gonna be that much of a regret. That's gonna be more of a
pattern of bad game.
No. You guys cannot compare the Wii U to the Vita and 3DS because, like, the Wii U will have.
Because
will it though?
It will. 100% it will.
I mean,
all I know is that
when
the same amount of screens are involved between the Wii U and the 3DS.
It's true.
It's the same amount of screens.
But I sorry, I didn't let you finish. But I assume the end of that sentence was like the Wii U will have a bunch of good games.
I mean, no. You gotta. I have my expectations in a very real place. I cannot. It's not gonna be like my main system. I'm not be like, you know what? I'm all about the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mainly sold my two systems because I knew I would rather play all like the awesome. I'm saying awesome in quotes. Nintendo games coming out for it, rather than
You're banking on their will, like Nintendo will.
But it's gonna happen because
is it though?
They're not
I don't know.
stupid. They're stupid in how they make their console, but in terms of like the games,
Yeah,
when it comes down to it,
I'm pretty confident that you can count on Pikmin 3 is going to be good. There's going to be a pretty good Zelda game. There's probably going to be an awesome Mario game.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a pretty
I
good Kirby game.
But even like, I'm a big Pikmin fan and I'm a huge Zelda fan, and I mean Pikmin 3 looks to be
Looks
like
so good.
Oh,
It
it's like
does.
it's another Pikmin game, and that's fine. Like that's really all I want.
but it's been a long enough time.
Yeah,
they get that
exactly.
pass.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years or more.
But even like the last Zelda game, like Skyward Sword, I had like so many problems with that game.
Like 6
Like I
years.
came out of the end of Skyward Sword being like, man, what the fuck was on? What was up with that?
I
So I don't
think,
even know if
though,
a new Zelda's gonna be good.
Like I'm not like no Nintendo fanboy or anything, but I really do
Yeah.
think this console is definitely going to be where they step their game up in terms of
Really?
actual games. Yeah.
Wii U looks pretty cool. I mean, Zombie
The
U,
accounts are
not
tied
Wii
to
U.
the consoles.
Okay, yeah, I'm not talking about all of the Wii U's bullshit. I'm talking about the games in general.
I just think it's weird
I'll buy
because
that.
I gave you a bunch of shit when you bought a 3DS, but then I turned around
You
and
also
like
gave me
I
a bunch of shit when I bought a 3DS.
You bought it at launch though. That was super dumb.
It was not super dumb.
So dumb.
I think for me, it's just, I thought I liked playing every game, but then when it came down to it, I never touched my 3DS or my Vita. I'm
Oh.
like, you know what? I'm not really a person who plays handheld games that much, so
Yeah,
this is
me
really
neither.
a waste of money for me.
I'm just waiting for that sweet new Pokemon
But
to come out.
I mean, let's be clear, Keith.
yeah.
You bought a 3DS at launch for $250, and there weren't any games that were great that came out before they lowered the price by $100.
That's true.
So please stop trying to tell me.
Yeah, but I got
that
all
it
these,
was a
I got
good
all these
decision.
sweet Nintendo ambassador titles.
I know we have an
Yeah, so
ambassador.
you got a
among
free
us.
copy
Yeah.
of Balloon Fight. How's that working out for you?
I don't like Balloon Fight, but I got all these like Wario games and stuff. Those are fun.
Yeah, okay.
And I got like a couple Metroid games and some Kirby games.
I heard.
Great.
I heard there were still like I don't know if it was games, but like updates. Like some of the updates were promised for the ambassador games. Like this is gonna have 3D support or something, and like some of that stuff still hasn't happened.
Yes,
Like, they
but
just-
like most of it has, so whatever.
all right.
I don't use my 3D. I use my 3DS enough to not be bummed out that I bought it, but I don't use it enough to be bummed out that it's not as supported as I would like.
Yeah.
Like I've spent enough time playing Pushmo alone to justify buying that system.
I hear some
It is
pretty great
good.
things
It
about
is good.
Pushmo.
Yeah, Pushmo, and I
of the
haven't
few
even
games
played
Crashmo.
Crashmo. I always
know-
want to call it Dropsy.
Do you? That's still better than the European and Japanese titles. Do you know what they're called?
I think you told me, but I forgot.
It's Pushmo is push blocks with an X in blocks, and Crashmo is fall blocks.
Fall Blocks is the worst.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that, it's like what they don't understand. Like they need to have things spelled out for them. Like
No, I don't know what it is because isn't that usually like it always seems that's what happens for Americans is like Americans can't handle Crashmo, so they have to know that the game's about blocks or something. Anyways, I don't know.
It's weird.
But I have my pile of shame list. Pile of shame for the uninitiated is a pile of games that you didn't play.
so, POS.
And some of these you definitely did play.
Oh yeah. Some of these I played, but I put them on the list because I don't think I played them enough to know to put them on the list.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Trials 2.
You read
Trying
that
2.
wrong. Yeah, there
Trying
you go.
2.
Wait. We talked about this not on mic, but we talked about how like I got Trying 2 and I really liked it, but I didn't put that much time into it.
Yeah.
I was looking at my Steam. I played the game for 8 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
But I found the Steam stuff to be super inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like I have some games in my Steam library that's like, you've played this for 50 hours. I'm like, I know for a fact I played it for 15 minutes at best or something like that.
I like thinking back though. I'm pretty sure that I probably played it for like 6-7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and to be clear, Trine 2 came out in December of last year, but there's another thing I forgot to mention. We include December of last year in our Game of the Year stuff because, I don't know. I just feel like stuff in December doesn't get enough time. So
we have a
we give out
13-month list. We can do December of this year,
And
year, and December of this year next year.
Yeah, so everything that comes out in December gets like 2 chances, basically.
Yeah.
Lucky.
So lucky. So like I beat Trine 1 like right before it came out, so I was kind of like trined out when it showed up, and then I never really
That's
got
like
back
sounds
to
like
it.
a subtitle for like Trine 3. Trying out.
Trined out. Dear Esther.
Loved it. I love Dear Esther.
I didn't get to play it. I just played it for like 20 minutes like a couple days ago, and I was
It's so
kind of
good.
like, man, I don't know.
So, all right. So we're doing a Silent Hill 2 Let's Play.
Yes.
And people keep on telling us about how, no, Silent Hill 2 is all about atmosphere. You guys don't get the atmosphere. It's like, Dear Esther is literally 100% atmosphere, and it's one of my favorite games. So what does that say about Silent Hill 2 fans?
Well, Silent Hill 2 did come out.
I don't know if I would put
your
Dear Esther in the game category. I would. It's like I hate calling things interactive, like stuff or art.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
but-
think this game really does qualify as that.
That's true, but we also don't
Yeah.
have like an interactive category. So we just kind of have to throw it in wherever it fits.
interactive art fiction.
Walking gameplay though, it's great.
Yeah, it's a pretty good walking game.
I think can't we just all agree? Like, I have a solution for everybody, guys. Let's just say that video game is a synonym for like interactive software.
Yeah.
World.
People are always talking about like
Experience.
We can't use the word game anymore because game's not a more encompassing word. I don't know, just make it a more encompassing word.
We're never gonna stop doing that.
It's way easier to just include more things in the definition of game than to change it.
Our language is filled with words that used to have very specific meanings that we just now use as like
boner.
Dear Esther.
It's true. It used to just be like a mistake.
huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't just
That's-
being a weirdo that said boner.
Is that where like I
That's
boned
not
that?
really what I meant, but
No?
like I can't.
You weren't thinking about boners?
You were thinking?
Yeah. I guess I wasn't really thinking about boners at that moment.
Okay.
No, I had some. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Get words that used to mean a different thing.
Like, I'm gonna say sport. Like, I bet sport used to be. I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess it was. I don't know. Leave me alone. It probably had some way different meaning hundreds of years ago.
Well, now people are like, "Hey, sport, what are you doing?" Like, so.
I think that.
I think we should really
I think
stop
that's
talking about
probably
this, 'cause
the more.
I don't think this is going anywhere.
I think calling someone a sport is probably a more traditional definition of the word sport than like calling football a sport. I think being a I think sport
Or you
originally was
call them
something
sport,
like a
or is it because
gentlemanly
they're-
equality.
Or is it because they're a team player?
Who knows?
Anyways,
Moving on.
I'll look it up. You read down your list.
moving on. Yeah, see, this is like classic like Game of the Year podcast thing is I have this list and I'm like, this is a super long list, but I'm gonna move through it really fast. And then we get to like Dear Esther, we're just like, we're talking about the history of language.
Sports.
Syndicate, I played a good amount of it, so it probably wouldn't have ended up on my list, but I didn't finish the campaign and I wish that I had.
Zero interest in that game, I'll be honest with you.
Oh man, what about that Skrillex track though?
Zero interest now.
All right. I thought it had some cool stuff going where it was like it had this hacking system where you would like hack stuff in midair. There would just be
cool.
there would just be anything with like icons in it in the world. You could look at it and like hold down the E key and it would just make it do something.
That's probably the future, though. The future, I can see like those augmented reality.
yeah. Where you're
things
just like, I want to do something with that.
I want that soda. Boom. Just
I
like,
think I think you're totally right about that. So it would have cool stuff like you'd be in a room and there'd be like things on the floor and you could look at it and hold down the E key and then like cover would pop up.
That's true,
and stuff
yeah.
Like that. It was
yeah,
pretty cool.
universe cool. I think though it was
The
your
four-
standard fare first-person shooter gameplay.
Maybe the 4-player co-op stuff was really interesting though.
Yeah, I never got to
It
play
was
that.
pretty cool.
For Syndicate?
Yeah, Syndicate.
Well, sport, it was to take pleasure, to amuse oneself from the Anglo-French disport.
There you go, man.
Also
But
from the French.
Now we think of sports as like a very kind of specific like
That's funny.
athletic competition.
We're talking
thing.
But
about
also
boners and
from the
sport,
French-
and they kind of go hand in hand now. You never knew
About what?
boners and sport.
From the French desport or disporter, a pastime, recreation, pleasure, or to divert, amuse, please, or play.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Next up, Xenoblade Chronicles.
I almost put that on my list.
Yeah, I actually had that. This goes back to like me not having a job. Was like I bought it for $50 and I played it a little bit and I didn't love what I played of it, but I still kind of felt like I wanted to give it a lot more time, but I just kind of ended up selling it because like it didn't depreciate. Like I had it for 2 months, but it was still like I could sell it for like $40 or $45. So I was like, I'm gonna do that so I can get some money. Max Payne 3 I didn't play at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
again,
was- I
just
think-
like didn't have the money.
I
So
think,
good.
Xenoblade Chronicles was like one of the last things that Phil Kohler reviewed for Game Informer, and he gave it like a
Yeah.
9.8 or something.
He gave it like a 9 or a 9.5, and then we still got to see him tweet like about
yeah, some asshole.
people
was
that were
like-
still mad about it.
Yeah, people were still like, "No, not high enough."
What did it?
Yeah, it was
I-
some guy that was yelling at him because he thought it deserved a perfect 10.
I can't remember what the guy said, but I remember my response was like, "Oh, it was." He said, "JRPGs have never been more popular," or something like that. I was just like, "Wow, what crazy world are you living in?"
It's super not true.
Dragon's Dogma also couldn't play. Currently borrowing it from Keith, so I played like 30 minutes of it. I kind of live streamed it by myself, and I was not super thrilled with it. But
Have you hopped on a Griffin yet?
I hopped on a Chimera. Is that?
So the
Yeah,
combat
it's
is not
pretty
like fun enough where you would want to play it. That's what I
It's-
always hear. Like the combat's so fun.
It's like
I don't know. Hopping on those chimeras is like the best thing in the whole world.
like whenever it has these like really big bosses, like these big monsters, and you can like like the Chimera. It's like the lion, goat, and snake head thing. So it was this thing where you had to like jump on it and like climb over to the snake head and like hack off the snake head and then climb over to the goat head. And like that was really cool. But like any time where it's just like a bunch of dudes and you need to fight them, like super sucks.
I think when you get like a bunch of cool upgrades and figure out those,
That might
then
be
it's
true, yeah.
like stabbing a guy and throwing up in the air and then like using your dagger to throw fireballs at him.
Yeah, so
And-
I don't have any like
Yeah, and then I've got like some power that calls down like a weird meteor shower on a group of enemies.
wow.
Yeah, it gets some of that stuff. Gets
Yeah,
really
so
cool.
that's why it's on the list. Like I'm willing to admit that I haven't really played it nearly enough.
Also to be clear, not a great game. It's just
Yeah,
parts of it are really fun.
I like the end. Well, not really that good.
Yeah. Persona 4 Arena, like I said, I'm a huge Persona 4 fan, and I do like fighting games.
Yeah, I would play
I
that
actually
too.
have an email from somebody here.
And
that,
reading hundreds of pages of story.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you fight, that's gonna make you want to fight somebody.
I want to read this because, and by the way, for any of these emails, our thing is we make fun of people, and we make fun of things in general, so I hope I don't offend anybody if we make fun of your emails, but some of these emails are kind of funny. Anyways, Persona 4 Arena. I really like Persona, and I didn't get a chance to play Persona 4 Arena. So
Okay.
that's basically the story there. But this guy says, yo, so I was thinking about all the games I played this year, and those I had the most fun with. I didn't buy any big-name AAA titles this year, so that might skew my answer. My game of the year would probably be Persona 4 Arena. What? That's a fighting game. Yes, it is. It's really good, too, so shut up. Like, I didn't even... I've
this
got
guy,
nothing against
like,
fighting games.
This guy's got such powerful schizophrenia that
Yeah.
he can't even edit out
As he's
his-
typing, he's in
yeah.
disbelief.
He can't even edit out his second voice in an email.
I just like he's on full on like
Yeah.
Persona 4 fight arena defense mode. And I
You
haven't
like
even
one of your
said
favorite
anything.
games a couple years ago was a fighting game.
Like
Street Fighter 4.
Street Fighter 4 I had
Yeah.
on my list when that happened. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
couple
that's
years ago.
warranted.
Yeah, Persona 4 is
Yeah.
great. I mean, Street Fighter 4 is basically any game with a 4 in it is awesome.
Yeah,
No,
more on that later.
SimCity 4.
man, there you go.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is
Resident
not bad.
Evil 4.
God. Okay, maybe you guys are on
Yeah.
something.
Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty 4.
All right, that's it.
There
We're
you
calling
go,
it.
man.
We're calling it.
Yeah, it's
As is.
4 is equal greatness. It's been confirmed.
Halo 4.
Halo 4. Yeah.
Yes.
More on that later.
Oh man, don't even start. Oh man. Okay. The game mechanics are great. The auto combo system feels good and encourages you to play around with the characters until you find something that clicks. The story mode is also excellent. The canon story adds more depth to the Persona universe and it even explains what happened to the characters of Persona 3, including everyone's favorite robo-girlfriend. Not my favorite.
Dynasty Warriors 4. Are we still not doing that?
Hasn't there been like 8 Dynasty Warriors 4?
There's
Left.
like 10, and then in between each one, there's like a Pokemon amount of games.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
You know, the first 3 were pretty good.
See,
but
that's
the fourth
just
one is
cheating.
really where
They're banking off the 4 title to get them more sales. How dare they?
Yeah. The story mode is long too, at least 30 hours, if not more. I don't know. That's not really a bonus for me. I'm not a huge fan.
That sounds more like a
games.
chore for a fighting game.
Yeah, like a 30-hour story mode's pretty serious.
Yeah, but I think it's because most of it is reading.
Yeah, it is.
That's why it's a chore.
On the one hand, that might be good. It's like, because I just consider, I mean, obviously, I just consider fighting games to be multiplayer games. So, kind of the reason I didn't buy Persona 4 Arena to play it for the end of the year was just kind of like, I don't know, do I want to like try to like face the prospect of like trying to jump into this fighting game that all these people have been playing?
Yeah, more
but
than
then I
any
remembered
other
the
game-
reason I would buy it is for the story mode anyways, which isn't multiplayer, so I don't...
More than any other game, you buy a fighting game like to get better at it. Like most games you don't buy being like, well, I started off being not so good, but by the end I'm going to be great. Most games are just like an experience that you want.
Yeah.
Fighting games specifically. Fighting games and then like multiplayer-based shooters are the two things where the point is to get better at them.
Is Persona 4 like a tournament fighting game? Is that respected?
No.
Probably
not.
not.
No, I don't
It's-
think so.
If I
It's just-
haven't played it, but it's probably like all floaty and weird.
I mean, I hear the gameplay's pretty good, but it's like...
It's like
I think-
Guilty Gear-ish, right? And
Yeah, I think it's
Blaze
actually
Blue?
made by the same team that made
Yeah.
Guilty Gear. So it's kind of like, I mean, there are people that consider like Guilty Gear, and I think now they make Blaze Blue. I think
Blue?
it's Blaz Blue. I think that's Nice. Am I or NCI? Anyways,
NCIS.
So there are definitely people that consider like some of their games to be like tournament quality, even though they're not like nowhere near as popular as Street Fighter 4. But I don't think Persona 4 is that
Yeah.
way. There's just a ton of good content and gameplay. There's a ton of content and good gameplay decisions in this game. It may not win Game of the Year for you, but it does for me. Calm down, buddy.
I
I
know,
got no
right?
problem with your
Yeah.
pick. Like, just take it easy.
We're all just like, yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
have confidence in your pick.
Guys, we're all game buddies here.
We're game.
I mean,
bros.
that's why that's the name of our podcast, Game Buddies
bros.
Podcast.
Oh, game buddies.
GameBrothers.com.
GameBrothers.com.
Game Bros.
What is that? Oh, Sound Shapes. Didn't play.
Also, that's like one of the few games I played for the Vita.
Yeah.
But then I played on my PS3. It's like, you know what? It's actually cool playing on a bigger screen. So I never played it on the Vita.
yeah, I would never play it on the Vita if I could play it on my TV.
Even though it is kind of like cool that you can do the whole cross play or
yeah,
thing.
that's even like another thing for like Persona 4 Golden is like, it's awesome that everybody's excited about Persona 4, and it's awesome that they put out a better version of Persona 4. But like, man, I so don't want to play like anything handheld. Like, I would so love it if that was just a PS3 game.
Yeah, if
And
it
I
were
could
just
buy
Persona
it.
4, like thinking about it, it kind of lends itself perfectly to handheld.
Yeah, like I
it's
totally
like
get it.
in
It's
the
just,
Pokemon way, where like Pokemon on a handheld is one of the most perfect like things that are turn based.
Persona is actually like perfectly suited for handhelds. It's
Yeah.
just not my thing.
really,
you know.
it really is suited for handhelds. Isn't there a lot of dialogue?
It's turn based. It's like Pokemon, but with a bunch of people
because
at once.
because you go day by day, so it's just like, you know, you like, I'm gonna do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and now like my bus ride is over or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
never
kinda
go
like
on the
that.
bus.
Yeah, and it's also like a pretty.
Exactly.
There's a lot of easy like, oh well, this is the time where I start.
Yeah.
I mean where I stop. Like it's
And I think you can even, I think they even helped it be portable. Like before they had like save point, like you could only save like every 10 floors of a dungeon, which could take like an hour or two.
Right.
But I think they've made it so it's just every floor.
Yeah.
Like
still can't save in a battle though, Mom.
yeah, so that's Personas and Sound Shapes and whatever. Sleepy Dogs I also didn't play, like I mentioned. Dust and Elysian Tale also didn't play. Transformers Fall of Cybertron sounds like people don't really consider it to be like Game of the Year material, but
You have an email for this one?
what?
You have an email for this one? A person out
Oh,
there
no,
being
I
like,
didn't. No, I didn't.
But wait,
But I mean, I do like Transformers, and it sounded pretty cool. So, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, which was basically just like the PC version. It's really just the DLC for Dark Souls, but on PC, it was a game that came out this year. And Dark Souls is my game of the year last year, so it probably, I don't think it would end up somehow being my game of the year again this year.
Right.
But I felt like putting it on this list just to kind of say that even though there were a lot of great games this year, I still don't think there was anything that I liked as much as Dark Souls. Dark Souls is really good. So like for example, I got someone an email here who mentions Dark Souls.
Prepare to die.
And I'm assuming that they mean the PC version. Maybe they just bought Dark Souls this year and they don't understand that you can't fucking put a game from last year in for your this year.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt this time.
For me to name a game as Game of the Year, it would have to be one that gave me a reason to keep playing. I couldn't even finish Assassin's Creed 3. Same. Yeah. Or Dishonored. Also same. And yeah, Dishonored. I mean, Dishonored's a good game.
I got pretty close though. I didn't like get bored of it and stop.
Assassin's Creed
there
3?
was other stuff. Yeah, no, Dishonored.
Oh, okay.
There was like other stuff that I needed to get.
Assassin's Creed 3 though, yeah, that's really hard to finish.
Yeah,
That game took out literally everything that got me excited about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, let's get to that in a second.
Okay.
And while Far Cry 3 was very good, getting 100% just says stop here.
Man, I never go for 100%. That's crazy.
I want to point that out. Like, I don't know. I always hear people talk about like, oh, this game's good, but like getting 100% is impossible. It's like, yeah, well, who cares?
Yeah, stop when you're done.
Yeah, hey, stop there.
Yeah, hey,
I'm trying to get 100.
Vinny Caravella, stop.
Oh man, like did you hear like I remember Just Cause 2. Vinny talked about like, I can't play that game because like the very first town I got to, I needed 100% the town. And in Just Cause 2, run 100%ing a town means you have to find every explodable object and blow it up.
Yeah.
They're just like, if you're trying to 100% that game, you're a psychopath.
You can't get all the chaos.
Even like games where I think like, you know what, this won't be that hard, they end up being just tedious after a while.
Yeah.
So my vote goes to Dark Souls, which I am going to play right now.
100% it.
Which I assume that they meant that after they were done writing the email, they went to go play more Dark Souls because they really liked it.
They're not just guessing.
My initial reading of it was like, my vote goes to Dark Souls, which I'm gonna go play right now. I was like, wait, you haven't played it? like I'm gonna go start it right now. But it's
the one he's been thinking about the most.
Yeah,
that qualifies as Game of the Year.
FTL, haven't played it.
Faster Than Light.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's pretty good.
I tried to play it for 5 minutes during the marathon, but I had been awake the entire day, so just my brain.
And it's like a really sleepy game too.
Yeah,
but that make you better because you'll be so tense that you'll be like wired into that game.
Yeah, but I had to learn how to play it first, and my brain just didn't want to.
Got that lullaby going on.
It has like a lot of pop-ups that come too, and you're just like, I don't want to read all this right now.
Trust me, I just can't explain. But it's
good though.
That marathon was a nightmare.
Like oh my god.
Though the night, like I remember, the day after the marathon, you were like, "Yeah, I'd be like willing to do it again, like next November or whatever." Like I would do a marathon like next week. I don't even care. Like,
yeah, I would do it next week too.
I tweeted about this too. I was like, I have a marathon shaped hole in my heart.
Listen, I would do it. I would do it again. Like, I mean, not like next week. Give people time to have money again.
Oh yeah.
But if we wanted to do a marathon, I would be like in the summer, and at this I'd be totally okay with doing 2 marathons a year as long as if for one of them we got to keep the money.
We're gonna do another one in the summer. That'll happen.
Okay. The selfish.
Do we get to keep the money?
No.
Well, no. We'll do one near Christmas for the Christmas spirit. We'll give away the money, and then we'll do another one. No. We'll keep the money.
But also, if we were keeping the money, no one would give a shit. That's probably not true.
Or they like you would have.
No, yeah, I think it's totally not true. I think that there were some people that didn't donate because we weren't keeping.
I think it'd be too much pressure. If someone's trying to give me money, I would feel like even more of a need to entertain the people.
Nah, I got none of that.
Oh, I finally got the PayPal stuff in, so our chip-in finally updated last night.
Oh, great!
It's like, hey, congratulations, you got. So our chip-in is listed as like 730% filled.
Oh, that's not bad.
So our goal was 250, but we got like 1,800.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was pretty
congratulations.
Good.
As far as I know, the final total was $1,830.62.
You're so close.
But then we got one more donation afterwards.
No, it was $18.25 and 1 cent.
Okay.
From that person that gave us
that 1
cent.
penny makes a difference.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
Uh-huh. But because it took a while with the processing and everything,
1/2500th of an operation. So
since like a couple of weeks went by since the donations came in before I got everything sorted out with the account, we lost $50 from like I guess transactions that didn't go through. So guys, get your shit together. We're only at $17.75 now.
Wow.
Stop putting checks in your computer.
fucking like, you want to help these kids or not?
I guess not. It sounds like they don't.
Yeah, so that was FTL. Tokyo Jungle. I played a little bit more. I don't know. I've probably played it enough to know that it wouldn't end up on my list. But
I loved it when I played it during the marathon.
no, I mean it's a great game.
I've heard so much about it that I really want to play it too.
Oh man, like that's like the first thing that I've played on a PS3 that I couldn't play on any other platform. That I was like, I really want to play this game so bad.
Right now that you have a Vita, if you get a Vita, you can play like what's like remote play. It supports that now.
Well, you need a PS3 for remote play.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so you have that.
I don't have either of those. So I'm not gonna go buy a PS3 and a Vita just to be able to play Tokyo Jungle.
Still not worth buying a Vita for. Yes.
Just you know what? I'm gonna hold on here.
Tokyo Jungle email.
I don't have a Tokyo Jungle email, but I have one that reminded me of like getting consoles that you don't have and whatever. Let me take a look here.
Like I made it this far without wanting a PS3, and I think I can make it a little while longer.
Oh, here's someone with a. Well, I'll get this one out of the way. Here's someone for Xenoblade. I forgot about this. I legitimately had to think very hard on this one, but I think the overall winner for me, as weird as it sounds, is Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. Again, doesn't really like.
Yeah,
stop weird
like,
to me.
Yeah, have confidence in your fucking picks, guys.
Yeah, like say it with authority.
Yeah,
like, hey,
like Xenoblade, it rocks.
But then maybe not too much authority, like Persona 4 Arena guy, because he was like he was too strong.
No, but he was defensive also. He didn't have any confidence. He thought we were gonna like make fun of him or something, which we did kinda, but still.
Here's the thing I thought was a little weird. He's like, I was honestly hoping it would go to BioShock Infinite, but it was delayed. Like, I like the idea that he had, like, his Game of the Year lined up. Like, Game of the Year this year. It's, I see it's scheduled here for BioShock Infinite, and then it gets delayed. It's like,
I'm going to write this in pen so I don't have to erase it.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas, guys, or Happy Holidays if you're Jewish or something. Again, so, I don't want to say that this guy's anti-Semitic. Maybe.
He might be.
But listen, guys, Happy Holidays, it's not... Happy Holidays isn't for Jewish people. It's for everyone.
It's for
okay, that's why you say Happy
here's
Holidays.
Here's the fucking thing about that.
Guys, calm down with your Happy Holidays.
With the like war on Christmas people, the people who think that there's a war on Christmas because you can't say Merry Christmas.
Well, not anymore. Christmas won.
Did Christmas win? Because I forgot.
Mission
I didn't check.
accomplished.
Okay, great.
No, I don't. Whatever.
It's like we don't want to say Happy Holidays. We celebrate Christmas. We want to say Merry Christmas. Like, yeah, just because you celebrate Christmas, why does that mean that you can't want someone else to have a happy whatever?
This is probably not the road to go down, but
I don't know. One guy one time said that he liked it when we talked politics.
When that war on Christmas thing was happening, my dad, as like a big Fox News viewer, was like talking about it and stuff, which is like saying Happy Holidays. So
did we get? By the way,
sorry to this guy. I don't actually.
Yeah, we're not associating you with this.
Yeah, but anyways, my dad was talking about it like, when I was a kid, you said Merry Christmas to everybody and you didn't worry about it. Now everyone has to say Happy Holidays to be nice to everybody. But the thing is, like, growing up, like I was born in 1990, I never even knew that Happy Holidays was like a new thing that people were saying to not exclude anybody. I just thought that's what you said.
Oh no,
in December to people.
My grandma made it clear that was a new thing.
Did anybody know the lack of holiday commercials?
I don't watch TV.
Yeah,
I don't watch.
I don't watch it. I don't watch. No, we don't watch TV because we get our TV from the internet.
Go ahead.
That's all I was going to say.
Sorry, it's not
now I feel like a jerk for watching TV.
Yeah, a big jerk. No, I watch a ton of TV, just not on a TV.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I use a TV, but I only use it to display pages of books on the television so that I can read while I
have
sit
a TV,
up.
but I only use it to record episodes of Nova, the science show. That's not true. I've never seen Nova. It's the Neil deGrasse Tyson show where he talks about string theory and stuff.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That guy's
Still have no fucking idea what string theory is.
It's hard to explain.
It's about cheese, right?
Yeah,
string cheese.
Yeah, I think that's
a fun string theory question.
Oh yeah, there you go. You don't know Jack. Where you at?
From You Don't Know Jack.
Did you play the You Don't Know Jack Facebook thing that came out this year?
No.
It never worked for me, so I could never play it.
No. Oh, what was the thing? It was like you got one free game a day.
Yeah, it was like weird.
That's weird.
No, you get like a couple free games a day.
I wish they just put out like 2012 edition of the.
Yeah, why is there no DLC support for that?
Or like downloadable, like put it on PC, do whatever.
Yeah,
like
no, it's on PC.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's on PC, but there's no local co-op.
Did you ever play the new You Don't Know Jack they put out last year?
I did. I played it. But then I stopped playing it because I got that achievement where like, oh, play this on a Friday night, like 3 a.m.
really?
It was like social outcast.
Oh,
I was
weird.
like, man, this achievement just like made fun of me in like the worst possible way.
I don't know. I think I would like that.
Which it fits the game. No, I just none of my friends really got it, so I just stopped playing it.
I played it. I haven't played it. I played it recently. I played like around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And my cousin Ted was like, "Yeah, you should get Union Jack. We should play Union Jack." And then I played it a couple days later with my girlfriend.
For me, it was a little weird. I really liked the game. Just like, my problem with it, kind of like, I didn't like how the final round sort of, like, the whole game doesn't matter when you get to the final round.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
you just
literally every game show that there's ever been, including your other favorite video game quiz show, Buzz.
That doesn't make it. But the Buzz, that's the whole point of Buzz, though, is that it's designed around. It all comes down to the final thing.
I don't think it really comes down to the final thing as much as it seems like it does. Like, if you're with someone who's got super quick thumbs and just like wrecks it.
That's the thing. My reflexes just aren't good.
Right.
So it's like I always get wrecked in the final round.
There you
Yeah.
go. So it makes up for that.
But
What?
Do you need quick reflexes at the end?
Yeah.
yeah,
You do? I'm thinking something else then. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like
I'm thinking about Buzz.
Right, yeah. In You Don't Know Jack, it's that thing where like the cloud of like
Yes.
words that come in and you have to press A when you see the right one.
I just get creeped out by the guy from Buzz. That's why I never play it. He looks freaky.
What?
The Buzz guy?
Buzz is really good. Buzz the Mega Quiz, that was like the PS2 one, is awesome. The one they have on PS3 is like Quiz World, and it's like not as good. Just like hot Buzz tip for anyone out there thinking about getting a Buzz game.
finish your list.
Yeah.
This is super huge.
Forza Horizon. I like all the Forza games, and I like arcade racers. So a more arcadey Forza seems fine to me.
Started playing it actually this week, and
Yeah,
awesome.
I had a choice between Forza Horizon and Need for Speed Most Wanted,
Yeah,
and I
Need
went with Most Wanted just because I'm a bigger Burnout
yeah,
fan.
same here. Yeah.
I think you made the right choice, though.
I probably did.
I don't know. I'm starting to have second thoughts.
No?
I think Forza Horizon is winning me over. It's crazy.
Really? Yeah, like Forza did get better scores, I think. Like review scores, or at least on Giant Bomb. The
Yeah,
opinion
that's just
seems
kind of not
to-
the type of racing game that I like, and I barely like.
maybe you would.
Forza
maybe
Horizon-
Horizon is just arcadey enough
It is.
to be really good.
It is. That's
Maybe.
how I feel about those kind of games
Well,
on
we'll see.
Horizon.
Let me skip Assassin's Creed 3. We'll talk about that at the end.
Because it's not good.
Black Ops 2, I bought because I bought Halo 4 and played it for almost 100 hours. And so it was like this thing where I still wanted to keep playing first-person shooters, but I was just like really done with Halo 4. So I was like, I guess I'll get Black Ops 2. Like I hadn't really played a Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, and yeah, I've been like really enjoying the multiplayer. It seems really, I don't want to say it seems really good. It is really good. The campaign seemed good, but I didn't we did like a live stream of it once.
You played like an hour of it.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes, but we had a lot of fun, so I didn't touch the campaign after that in case we wanted to go back and keep playing the Black Ops 2 campaign live stream. So I don't know. That was
definitely a better campaign in recent years, but number 4 to me has the best campaign still.
Call of Duty 4. Yeah.
People keep saying that. I can't.
Our opinion, Keith and I, we think Modern Warfare 2 is better than the Modern Warfare 1 campaign.
Yeah.
But slightly. I think Modern Warfare 1's still like second best. Zombie U, I don't have a Wii U, so I couldn't play it, but it seemed really cool.
It is. It's good.
Persona 4 Golden, like we mentioned, and Far Cry 3, like I just bought last night.
Yeah, same here. I just bought it a couple days ago too. It's pretty good.
I've had it for like a month, so whatever, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
But you get the fancy PC version. I got the 360 version.
Yeah.
I got the fancy PC version too.
Seeing Far Cry 3
On a PC
during
is
our
like
marathon, Keith brought his PC here, and he was playing Far Cry 3, and seeing Far Cry 3 running on like a really good PC, like that's what kind of pushed me over the edge for buying a new PC, which I just did, so that's why I bought Far Cry 3.
Which is weird though. Far Cry 3. Did you honestly think you'd buy new PC parts for Far Cry 3?
Fuck, no way.
Yeah.
Like, not at all.
I don't know. I saw. I never played Far Cry 1. I played Far Cry 2, kind of, and I thought it was pretty cool. And like I saw that I saw the definition of insanity trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks fucking super awesome.
Yeah.
Of course I'm on board for this. So hearing that people were not on board with it from the very beginning was super surprising.
I thought the definition of insanity thing looked cool, but
looked like a gimmick, like gimmick parts of the game. But I'm totally wrong. It's really good.
I think what really turned me off of the game was seeing the intro with all the douchey characters. Or the douchey main characters are
The douchey
characters.
Yeah, the white characters.
The white guys that sucked. And
you
then,
guys.
Yeah.
And then hearing that like the thing like that the story falls apart in the second half and like Voss kind of just dies or goes away or something.
Spoilers.
And, like, I don't know.
He hasn't played it. I actually haven't gotten that far, I don't think, yet.
But that's a super bummer. It's like it seemed like the whole way that they're presenting it with their definition of insanity thing and like showing off like trailers with like hallucinations and their whole like gun butterfly motif that goes on in the HUD. Like it seemed like they were really going for like, you know, people were speculating like maybe you are Voss or something, you know, some kind of Fight Club type thing, and it kind of sounds like it doesn't really go.
No, I think it's just like
it's
just straightforward.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. It seemed like there was a lot
of bummer.
It seemed like there were some really good potential.
I know that where I am
stuff.
now, it seems like there's more going on than just what people kind of are saying that there is.
All right,
so I don't know.
Yeah, so that's Far Cry 3. It seems pretty cool.
Kyle talked the most shit about that game.
Yeah.
Kyle talked so much shit about it, and I was like, no, it's really good. And I had to, like, it took me playing it in front of him for him to even...
It just looked generic, open world.
Yeah, like it kind of seemed like...
I can see why he didn't like it at first.
It kind of seemed like my problem with Rage. It was like some big open world, but then it's like, why is this world open if it's just like I didn't know there were so many RPG elements to it. I thought it was just going to be like standard shooter but in an open world. It's like that sounds kind of lame.
You said that to me and I tried to explain it to you and then you were like, whatever.
No, I think
No, you totally like I was like, no, it's like an RPG, and then you totally dismissed it.
Yeah. And also
there's like 3 different upgrades. Like you can upgrade your guns, you can upgrade your own skills, and you can upgrade the equipment you carry, and you have a rucksack.
But that was the end of the argument though. Was like I was like, come on, and you were like, no, these things, and then I just kind of was like, maybe, I don't know.
I think it might be. I haven't played much of it, but I think it may be the best first-person shooter of the year. That's surprising for me. Yeah,
it's one of the 2, I think.
Yeah, I heard Skyrim with guns. Like
that's a dumb description in my opinion. It's not Skyrim with guns.
It's also the fastest description. So
Skyrim with guns.
True.
It's just lazy.
It's like if you're like Far Cry 3 and they're like fuck that, and then you go Skyrim with guns. It's just an easy way to get something.
I still just continue to be shocked by like the power that Skyrim has. Like some hardcore fantasy RPG, and like when they're trying, like they're invoking,
Oblivion is the luckiest game of all time.
They're invoking a fantasy RPG to sell a first-person shooter. Like how crazy is that?
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy. It's got because of the way that the 360 launched and how close Oblivion was to the launch of that system, just the luckiest timing in the world because it got
maybe
millions of people interested in a genre.
But wasn't Morrowind popular though?
What?
Morrowind was pretty popular though.
Yeah, I mean it was like,
but it still wasn't like a mainstream.
It wasn't
game.
mainstream.
It was
popular.
like it was critically successful, but I don't think it was commercially successful.
I mean, you could say
guys, like Skyrim was the biggest game in the world.
I'm sure Oblivion had some really good timing, but I mean, it could have just been like,
but it happened to be a great game. It was a great game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a great game. It might have been like super popular whenever it came out. Like maybe that's just like changing tastes or something.
Yeah, because Xboxes were pretty hard to find when that game came out.
Yeah,
so I still think
but they were pretty hard to find because so many people had bought them.
But like Skyrim. I mean, like no one's talking about like the timing for Skyrim. It's just an amazing game, you know.
No, but they were talking about like sequel to Oblivion. I liked that game 3 years ago. 3 years?
I mean, that game.
People talking about Oblivion sequel to more.
Also, Fallout 3 had a big play in Skyrim.
That's also
Fallout
true.
3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Fallout.
Fallout 3 was huge.
You're right.
And Fallout 3 New Vegas got really.
You know what? Fallout 3 is Skyrim with guns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So, but I just think it's so weird. Like fantasy is so big now. I think it's just like after Lord of the Rings. Now it's like have you seen Once Upon a Time? Have you seen this?
In what?
It's this TV show. It's just like
that show.
It's just like a daytime soap opera.
No, it's a
primetime
show.
Is it really?
It's like about.
Well, it looks like a soap.
It's
opera.
like I think it has something to do with like I don't know anything about it. I'm just going off by images. It's like it takes place in like modern time, like the present, but kind of like Harry Potter. In the background, there's like fairy things go.
There is like a separate.
Or is that
world.
Grimm? I don't know.
there is real world and then there's fantasy world.
Yeah, and you have to tap on the bricks at Diagon Alley to see
But
it.
honestly,
Yeah.
do you think people who are watching this show are like, I want to go play Skyrim now? Like, that's like for like.
Yeah, it's like for moms.
It's no, I don't think Skyrim.
I mean, it's
people.
just- I mean,
I don't
I'm-
think I don't think there's a huge crossover between Once Upon a Time and Skyrim. Though I know that there is.
I think it's-
ladies.
I think
don't
trying to get at is-
don't get on my case too much.
I think trying to get as like fantasy is not like 100% like nerdy. I think fantasy is just like a cool thing now. Like Game of Thrones is really
But I
popular.
think, I'm saying, I think that's Lord of the Rings. I think before Lord of
Oh,
the
yeah,
Rings,
probably.
it wasn't like that at all.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would
You
agree
mean
with that.
you mean before the
movies, I mean.
1930s? Oh, okay.
No, I mean the Lord of the Rings movies.
Right.
Had like, and that was now we're getting.
But they
a
did
huge
come out
tangent,
in
but
03, yeah.
That's how I was when the movies came out. Though, was like as a kid, I was always like, oh, Star Wars is awesome, so everything sci-fi is the best, and I was just like, fucking like elves and bows, like what?
I don't know, I was
This is
always
stupid.
into
but then
both of
like
it.
You're not,
then
like,
Lord of the Rings came out, and I was like, elves and bows are the coolest thing.
Yeah, I think I was always into both of it. Like at the same time as I was really into Star Wars, I was also reading fantasy novels and stuff. So
Well, you're just the most.
I think so. Yeah, I think I've got.
Oh wait, let me finish with Once Upon a Time. There's two separate dimensions. There's a real world and a fantasy world, and so you have all these sort of like soapy actors, basically, just like a bunch of like really good looking young people that are all talking to each other really dramatically in super cheap sets. But it's all like shit where it's like one guy is Rumpelstiltskin and like one guy's Captain Hook, but like. It's just Captain Hook is just like a ruggedly handsome young man with a hook on his
Right,
arm.
yeah.
Like,
The thought of like,
But he has both hands. He just carries a hook.
I mean, it's definitely pretty obvious in his costume that that's the case. And I'm just like, look at that guy holding a hook.
and the whole thing takes place in high school. That'd be the funniest.
I'm
Man,
sure it
what a
does.
weird thing that like. That was that guy's name before
There's-
he lost that hand.
I think there's some girl with like a pixie cut. I'm sure she's Tinkerbell or something.
She has to
Yeah.
be really small though.
There's the Queen of Hearts.
Great.
Like just
The whole deck of cards represented in this show.
That's weird. It sounds weird, really weird.
it's super
How does this
weird.
connect to Skyrim and how people like
not
Skyrim?
at all. In no way whatsoever.
Okay, are we just talking
Sorry.
like I saw a good movie yesterday? If we want to talk about that, are we just talking about things?
No.
No.
Okay.
We're done. Oh, Assassin's Creed 3. So I was super excited about the American Revolution setting. For
I
Assassin's
also
Creed 3
was.
because we live here.
Yeah, we live where that. Like I ran through this town in that game.
Lexington, Massachusetts, shot heard around the world. Perhaps you've heard of it. I'm just kidding. Of course you have, because it was around the world.
Yeah.
So like I was really excited to see like the Battle of Lexington and that kind of stuff. And I got to the Battle of Lexington and it was like super lame and not really interesting. And
I
was
didn't
just
even
kinda
make it there. I dropped that way before that.
Really?
Yeah.
So we were both ended pretty early on.
I mean, you have to agree though. The setting is pretty cool.
It's
Like,
a beautiful like
they
the
did a really
environment
good.
looked
I think they
great.
did it justice, but what's inside of it is definitely
Yeah, the
disappointing.
game
Yeah.
like it looks beautiful, but the game itself is
And-
horseshit.
Huge turn though. Like remember like the twist with Hatham at the beginning? Like that
Yeah,
was so
I was pumped.
That was crazy and awesome. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
like,
don't-
I was so like I got so excited about like Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 2, and then I didn't even buy Revelations, and then like this game I think is terrible. I thought it was terrible.
It's super weird. Like I just don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say terrible.
I wouldn't call it terrible, but it's
It has its merits.
I guess it has its merit, like, but it has literally none of the stuff that I was excited about in Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, man, and
like,
just-
all that weird
Everything-
historical fiction stuff where they worked
Yeah.
the assassin stuff, and you had to find these weird puzzles and then work it out, and then it kind of only loosely connected to the main story, and then they had these weird endings where like fucking aliens or something, and then like he's like like the son, your son, like what?
Yeah.
And it's got none of that.
Yeah, and
Like,
number
so-
2 was scary. Number 3 was like, this is dumb.
yeah, like my favorite stuff is like the Desmond side of the story, and just
It's
that
just-
stuff was so weak.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
number
and
2.
like
yeah.
the Subject 16 stuff where they just kind of shat
And-
all over that in Revelations.
Oh man,
And
they totally
like
did.
it was like some of the coolest stuff in any
and then
video game.
they just brought up Subject 16 and made him like this kind of douchey, totally uninteresting character, and then threw him away. And
it's so
though,
frustrating.
I will say this though, I heard like Patrick Klepek on the Giant Bombcast talking about how they, quote, like made Lucy a Templar in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
I will say this: Keith and I did a Assassin's Creed Brotherhood spoiler cast right after that game came out. We figured out when Brotherhood happened that Lucy was a Templar.
Yeah.
From all like the little clues and weird shit that was like hidden in the game.
I mean, technically she is though.
Right.
She is.
She is. We pieced together. We basically took all the stuff that we knew about the game, and then while we were doing the spoiler cast, we would pause it and then go rewatch the videos and like weirdly and super in depth analyze the. It was crazy.
Were you saying she was a Templar, or were you saying she's a double agent? Because that's what she is. She's a double agent.
Double agent.
Yeah,
is that what you guys
mean.
were saying?
Yeah.
It was because Lucy gets killed at the end of Brotherhood, like out of nowhere, and it like isn't explained at all. And then when it comes back in they don't mention it in Revelations almost at all. And then it comes back in Assassin's Creed 3.
And they like passingly mention.
But isn't it like DLC of Revelation? I think it's DLC Revelations that reveals that stuff, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
There was like a DLC, because you know how in Revelations there are like these moments you play as Desmond, and it's like about his past?
In the first person thing?
Yeah, I think there's I could be wrong. I remember hearing that there's DLC that actually says that stuff.
I don't know, because it'd be super weird for them to make a DLC about it, and then
not really
but then in 3, the way they address it is just by like you have to go and talk to the people, and then they're like, yeah, it's super weird that Lucy was a double agent, right? It's super weird that that goddess lady that keeps following you made you stab her because she was a Templar, right?
Like it's just so crazy to me that when Brotherhood ends, like you are so hooked, like. You're just like, this is amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to know what happens next. And then like Assassin's Creed 3, it's just like they start where it's like all the characters have already solved, or like they've gotten over like the whole thing that happens at the end of Brotherhood, and they've all discussed it and sorted it out like on their own time, and you don't see that at all. And then they're just all like kind of discussing it like lackadaisically, like, oh yeah, Lucy was a Templar. And like the thing was, we figured out that Lucy was a Templar by like watching the like hidden cutscene with Subject 16 like 3 times and that kind of stuff, and like figuring out like I think he's saying that Lucy's a Templar. I think that's what he's saying. But like then they don't.
In Assassin's Creed 3, we couldn't do stuff like that even if we wanted to, because there's nothing like that.
Yeah, but also it's like for the people that didn't watch that cutscene 3 times and like discuss it in a spoiler cast, but then they just turn on the game and they're like, oh yeah, so Lucy was a Templar. It's like, what are you talking about? You've never introduced that to me. Like you haven't explained that at all.
I get it's just
or even
super
made
weird.
Or like Lucy's character never did anything bad. Like she literally only helped you and then got killed for being a Templar.
She broke you out of the place that she was trying to secretly get you to?
Yeah, you were a prisoner.
You were already her prisoner.
You were there.
She was a triple agent then, because she was a Templar.
She was posed as a
She was a Templar posing as an assassin, posing as a Templar, posing as an assassin.
Something tells me, you know who the actress who plays her?
Yeah.
Kristen Bell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
Kristen Bell plays her?
Yeah.
Kristen Bell decided to stop being in Assassin's Creed, so they had to kill her
I think she wanted, like, she's like one of those actors, like, I want to advance my film career. And I bet you they're really pissed off at that, and they needed something to, like...
You know what? You're right. I actually heard that. That's exactly what it was. Is Kristen Bell's like, I'm not going to be in this anymore, and they're like, well, shit, we got to do something. Yeah. So kill her at the end.
Oh, you know what you could do? Get a fucking person that sounds like Kristen Bell.
Who gives a shit?
There's a fucking billion people that sound like that.
Because Kristen Bell fans out there are gonna be really pissed.
Who is that?
I don't know. She was great in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Who is
Kristen Bell?
Was she like? She was
Sarah Marshall.
Yes, she was.
I don't even remember. Her.
God, that movie's so good. I fucking love that movie.
No, it's a really good movie. Like I remember Mila Kunis in that movie.
Yeah, I don't think Sarah Marshall makes that movie.
Jason Segel, yeah, and then
I remember Russell Brand,
and then Russell Brand.
Hey, guess what? I forgot Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, you. I remember the guy that plays what's his name? God damn it!
What?
Kenneth Parcell in 30 Rock played like the. I think his name was Jack something.
Jack McBrayer.
Jack McBrayer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
He was also great in.
Was he in that movie?
He was like the religious guy that newly got married, and his girlfriend wanted to have tons of sex, and he was concerned about it.
I think I saw that movie before I ever watched 30 Rock, so I just didn't recognize.
Yeah, so Russell Brand showed him how to hump a chess piece or something.
He was also Until They Get Nights and all those movies.
He was also Jack McBrayer, also really good in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah,
he played Fix It Felix.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I know.
Really good movie.
Cool. I heard some like, not like the movie's not good, but I heard a lot of people that were sort of like they way oversold like the video game side of it, or like most of the movie takes place in like the Candyland or whatever, which I kind of expected.
Yeah, most of it does take place in there, but that's not like a problem with it.
Yeah, so I think it's just some people had like different expectations.
Yeah,
for
it's
it or
like
something.
he breaks out of his game, goes into this other game, and then gets trapped in the candy place.
See, I think that's kind of a bummer because the trailer totally sold it as like going to a bunch of different.
Yeah, he was gonna like game hop between.
Yeah, I
those
mean,
things.
like Ralph, you're game jumping.
yeah.
He's like, I mean, he
How many games does he go through really?
for like 4 or 5.
That's the.
But is it like 4 or 5 in like the first 30 minutes, and then he's stuck in Candyland for like the whole movie or something?
No, it starts off in like. Am I just like saying the games that he goes into?
No, don't spoil it. I kind of.
Yeah,
He
forget
starts off in one game, goes back to his like 6 or I think he's in 6 or 7 games. Like at some point, like he goes to Tappers to get a beer. At some point, like he's just like because you can go in other games. You're just not supposed to be in other games during arcade hours.
Oh,
because the arcades are so popular.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
goes. So he
Like-
goes to the Tapper bar.
Yeah, like after
That's awesome.
his villain support group, which is in the trailer,
Right.
he's like I'm going to Tappers to get a beer.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is so good. All right. So that completes our discussion of the pile of shame.
Can I should because you're done with that. I have a list that just real quick. This is my top whatever games that sucked harder than I expected. And number 1 is Assassin's Creed 3.
Hold on. I gotta say, these are pretty standard lists that you've had so far. You're just making silly names for them.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. They're standard lists. They're just I like. Okay, so top whatever games that sucked harder than I expected. 1, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah. Wait, is that number 1 or number 5? Or does it matter?
Number 1. That one sucked harder.
I think they all sucked.
It sucked the most hard.
It's yeah.
So I guess I should.
sucked the most harder than you expected.
Yeah, there's only 4 games on this list.
Okay. Unacceptable.
2, Darksiders 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. What a bummer,
Never
right?
a fan of it, so I didn't really have much.
Darksiders 1 was like my number 3 game on my list for whatever year that came out.
2010,
like
I think?
09, I think.
09? Okay.
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, and it was like I just really loved that game. I had such high expectations for Darksiders 2, and me and Keith talked about this last night. Like the first few hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours of that game, I literally thought it was one of the best games I had ever played. And then like it just falls apart.
Wait,
Totally
for
falls
Darksiders
apart.
2?
Darksiders 2, yeah.
It had
Yeah.
the first 4
It
hours.
starts
the
off
best game.
so strong.
It's Zelda, but with like really good sort of Devil May Cry action, but with like RPG loot, but also with like this interconnected environment with all these secrets that you can discover, like Metroid. Like it's so good.
It's really good.
And then and that's like the first world, and then like the second world you go to is just like
Kingdom of the Dead fucking blows.
It's
I
like-
can't like.
it's all gray
It
and
was just so like
shitty.
The first
Man.
world was full of like flowers and trees and it was all green and there were these like rock people and dwarves. What were they? Makers, creators? What were those guys called? The big like
Makers,
the super
I think.
makers or something. And they build worlds. Is what
Builders,
they do.
maybe?
Builders.
Builders.
Something. They were dwarves.
You know, they made shit.
they were big. They were huge.
Wait, no, they weren't dwarves. They were like
They were dwarvish.
They were like Norse.
They were like Norse people.
Yeah.
They were kind of but like
Valkyries.
You know, but dwarves are Norse people.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're like they
But
look
I
like
mean they're super tall though.
they
is what I'm
look like
saying.
dwarves, but they were super big.
There you go.
They
Were Vikings.
They were Gimli shaped, but they were the size of Ents.
I did think that setting was kind of weird because the setting of the original Darksiders was so much this like you're in the real world in a city, but then it's a city that's been like inhabited by like demons for 100 years.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was like this really cool kind of like comic booky thing, and then they're like, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Almost.
but it looked great, and
But
then
then-
all of a sudden they took all of that away.
Kingdom of the Dead, holy
It's like-
shit, snore.
Yeah, it was like there was like
So boring.
like gray ground, gray skies, and a bridge. It's all that
There
place
were
was.
like a few things like I think there was like
a pirate ship.
there was like a pirate ship that was being pulled by like huge dragons or something like that. It looked really awesome.
Yeah, but then like they showed it for half a second, and then you were just on the ship and couldn't
Right.
see how cool it
yeah,
looked.
exactly. And then after that, I got a little bit farther. I got to like after that you go to like a heaven place that's been infested with corruption or something.
I never went
corruption
there, I don't
again, a
think.
story element that they made up out of nowhere. It was super weird, but that the place after Land of the Dead is definitely a lot better. Though I got really like, oh yeah, I ran into this game mechanic. I got stuck like super hardcore on it because they gave you the portal gun again. but it works different than the actual Portal gun. Like it's, because they don't have like a real Portal engine in the game.
Right.
So there's a thing like, you can do in Portal where you drop something, it goes through a portal in the floor, and then it shoots out faster.
Yeah.
In Darksiders 2, you can do that, but you have to like set up like an accelerator portal. Like you have to set it up to do that, and it teaches you that. But for whatever reason, like I was allowed to miss the part that taught me that. And so I got to a part where I needed an accelerator portal, and I just
hold it down longer.
I just didn't know how to do it because it hadn't taught me, and I was just I was stuck on it for hours.
That sucks.
It was crazy.
You know what? Maybe if that's when they give you the portal gun, maybe I did get to the angel place and just totally forgot.
You did.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
All right. Because I put like 17, 18 hours into that game, something like that.
Yeah. And then after that, you go to hell at some point, and I got.
Wait, what's the difference between hell and the kingdom of the dead?
Like
right,
Limbo?
Exactly. Yeah.
Limbo?
It's like hell is where demons live. Land of the dead is where humans go when they die.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hell is like a luxury place.
Yeah. Hell's if you're important.
Yeah,
That's where the 1%ers of the underworld.
That's sort of like the Darksiders fiction is like hell is demons, not like dead people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like all these games on my list and stuff. I for the past 2 weeks I've been doing this thing where I like went back and like played all the games again to sort of get a feel for it. Like, what do I think about these? Because I take this shit super serious. And I just like tried to play Darksiders 2 and just like I played it for 15 minutes. It was like I don't want to.
I do the same thing as you do, but I just think about replaying the games and then judge the games based on my feelings about that.
But I feel like you gotta like I'll get to this when we talk about Journey, but like playing Journey again, I remember it's like man, Journey's like way better than I remembered.
Borderlands 2.
Yeah,
basically the same thing happened where it was just like I was playing it and I was having kind of actually I was super excited before to play it, and then once I started playing it I was never super into it, and I spent a few hours trying to get into it. I was having kind of fun with it. It was just super boring.
It just wasn't exciting. Like
like it felt like more Borderlands 1. Like it just felt the same. And it like I think everyone was really hoping that like Borderlands 1 where it was like this really good game but it just wasn't really great. And we're hoping like maybe they're gonna fix everything that was wrong and this is just gonna be amazing, but no, it's just like, kind of the same.
You go to your quest log and you see like 20 quests sucks. And you're just like, it's like you have to do homework. Like, oh my god.
And then it only will give you one quest at a time, and like you're just running back and forth from the same place.
I heard that. I don't think I got far enough into the game for that to be an issue, but
it was so annoying.
It's really annoying.
Yeah,
it did get boring after a lot.
And then Crusader Kings 2.
Oh. That was so disappointing.
I went Crusader Kings 2 I had this wildly short arc with where I totally had no
just to catch you up. Crusader Kings 2 was a game that we played for like 25 minutes during the marathon. That's all we did. But it was just like this game where you're supposed to like it was supposed to be this historical recreation where you play as like a lord in Europe in the 1600s or something. And it was just super hard, and we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so at first, when I saw it on Steam, and I would see it on Steam all the time, just being like, Crusader Kings, get it. Maybe, right? Get it. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but it looks like a shitty version of like Mountain Blade or War of the Roses or something.
No.
That's just like from the dude who they pictured. It just it was like a knight with a sword, and I was like, I don't want to play that. And then during the marathon, Kyle explained what he thought it was to me.
Well, I wasn't wrong.
Right, you weren't wrong. And I was like, oh my god, this game could be the best thing in the whole world. I
saw it on Giant Bomb, and it seemed awesome.
Yeah, and
there was like a whole thing with like a guy had a like they were like what was it? It was like somebody killed the player's son or something to like. Sorry, I thought I had a story, but I didn't.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Anyway, we got into it, and it was just like all fucking menus and weird shit. And I was the king of England, and I couldn't France. What? Who cares? Same thing.
Yeah, you started off as the king of France. I thought the goal of the game was to become a king.
No, you're supposed to become the king of England. Yeah, that's also the king of France.
Yeah, you just gotta like move over.
I just think it was I think it was random. Like we could have just been a duke or something, but instead we just started as king, which is really weird.
Yeah, but then we couldn't figure out how to do anything or build anything. And then I was like, all right, I'll build a city, and it'll be like, all right, your city will be done in 80 turns. Like what?
Or no, it was like we had to make an army or something. It was like, how do we not have an army? We're the king of France.
Yeah, it was like have an army. And it's like, how do you get an army? You have to build one. It's like, how do you build one? You have to pay your knights, or you have to pay your vassals, or whatever. It's like, I don't have any money. How do you get money? Like, you have to have your knights take over a place. It's like this weird endless.
You basically need a European history degree to be able to play this game.
I know, because I've taken European history classes. I got I did well in them.
Anyways,
didn't help.
I don't know.
Better.
I basically went from not caring to super excited to way bummed out about it.
Anyways,
so those are my top whatever games that sucked harder than I expected.
Miguel, do you have a special list?
I do, actually.
Give it to us.
I will read it off. All right, I actually did top 5 soundtracks.
Really?
I really like music.
Is this original or licensed or both?
Both.
All right.
And actually, okay, so number 5, Lumines, Electric Symphony.
Oh yeah, I haven't. Another game I haven't been able to play because I don't have a Vita.
One of the reasons why I got a Vita, I'll be honest. I think it's like my favorite puzzle game of all time.
Right.
And
isn't it the thing with Lumines that like the first one was awesome and then all the other ones aren't awesome?
Exactly.
Kinda.
That's why. Yeah.
The word I think was that this one was the first one that was like almost as good or as good.
I've only played Lumines one time. How do you mess that up? It seems like a pretty simple thing to just get right every time.
It's nothing gameplay. It's more of just like a lot of the other Luminuses had like
didn't they have like Gwen Stefani tracks or something?
That's only number 2, but the other ones are like they kept coming out with the same skins from the first one or from number 2.
Yeah, I have Luminous Live, but I don't really remember anything from it.
Like this one is all original, and the music in it was pretty good. Like I'm not really a fan of like the J-pop that's in there, but as for like the game while you're playing it, it's really cool.
Oh, it's J-pop. The whole thing is J-pop.
No, not the whole thing.
Okay.
It's like one or two songs, but
then I don't have a problem with J-pop.
I have a problem with any music genre that sounds like a breakfast cereal.
Then number 4.
You mean pop music? You're like, yeah, I'm pissed off at this word.
It has the letter J in it, so no.
No, I was just I tweeted that the other day, but about K-pop.
Yeah. I don't like.
Gotta have my pops.
Well, I don't listen to K-pop because I don't like any music genre that sounds like a way to do drugs.
K-popping.
He's just been over at his friend's house K-popping for the last 3 days. He needs to get his shit together.
So where was? Okay, number 4, Journey. Really, really good. That's an original score, and it's awesome.
I hear people talking about that all the time, and it sounds. I haven't even heard the music, but somebody was like, "Yeah, it's like all classical and orchestral." And I'm like, "That's the thing I like."
I can't really remember a lot of the music from the first half, but like definitely like the second half when a lot of like I don't know, dramatic stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
Definitely pretty awesome.
It's even like when you go like and you're like in the cross media bar and you like highlight over the game.
Oh,
and then the music starts and you're like, oh yeah, that music is awesome.
Exactly.
Like, it's really cool.
And the final sequence where you're flying through the mountains and everything, that music was just like awesome.
Oh yeah. It's tear inducing. Then number 3, I have Fez. Awesome music. Yeah.
Fez has great music.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't feel like the soundtrack never made a huge impression on me. I mean, like it was good, but it was kind of like sleepy. Am I wrong in that?
No, I like sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like atmospheric in the best possible way.
You know what? You're right. Actually, like thinking about the like all the places that are like raining, like that world. That stuff was really awesome.
And I listened to the soundtrack a little bit, and you know every song had it had moments in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I had number 1 and number 2 were almost tied, but I had to give number 1 because it was an original score and not licensed. But number 2 was Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Very good music.
Miami's awesome.
I hear that all the time. Everything that I've seen about Hotline Miami, I hear the music and I'm like, I don't like this.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I really don't like the music.
It doesn't get you into like the mood of it fits so well with the game, even though it's not like a lot of it.
I've only played the crazy sinister track when you're like talking to your crazy head.
Yeah, people. I don't like it.
Yeah,
but like the
exactly
genre
right.
I don't know. I haven't played the game. I've only seen it played.
That's a bummer.
But
it actually works for the game.
I was just playing Hotline Miami like a couple days ago. I got to like the nightclub level or something. It was like, that's awesome.
It's really
so good.
But my number 1 is Max Payne 3.
Really?
I think it's really underappreciated. It's all done by this band named Health, which I had no idea existed before the game. But just everything about like they were able to put the score, like each song that appears in the game fits so well with what level you're in. and it's a very like percussion, drum, bass soundtrack, which is kind of unique and not really seen much in games. And it actually fits like the vibe of like in Brazil too. Like it has Brazilian sensibilities in it.
Cool.
Yeah, that is a good soundtrack. I remember.
Yeah, I haven't played it, so I have no idea, but
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Actually, something that I was thinking about soundtracks. At least the part of Darksiders 2 that I liked was really good too. Like that soundtrack was by Jasper Kidd. He's like the same guy who did like the first 3 Assassin's Creed games, not Assassin's Creed 3, but like Brotherhood and whatever. That was pretty good. But
Yeah, it doesn't have good music.
I just want to say, because everybody's talking about how great the Hotline Miami soundtrack is. I've only heard like a couple minutes of the music. It just doesn't sound like, and I haven't played the game.
I think it's all really good, and it's all like, it's almost in a weird way, it's almost more impressive that it's a licensed soundtrack, because like
it seems like it's only like half licensed.
Like I almost
it's not completely like licensed. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I would say is like I would almost guarantee you've never heard a licensed soundtrack that better fit like the tone and feel of a game. Like it's so spot on. It's crazy. Like just this weird like dirty 1980s Miami, but like also like electronic, like pixely kind of almost 8-bit in some spots.
It's like I'm sure that it fits really well with the tone of the game, and that really helps. And I probably would appreciate it in playing the game, but if I had to listen to the music, like just by itself,
I totally disagree. I think that's why it's so strong. So you can definitely listen to it on its own.
I think that you can. I just don't think I'd like to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like just that I hear the apartment music that you hear so many times throughout the game. It's like so good, like, and it gets better the longer that you let it play.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of times I almost feel like I don't want to leave my apartment just so I can keep hearing it. And the same thing with like I mentioned the track that you hear when you're talking to your weird like schizophrenic personality mask people, whoever the fuck those, I don't even know what to call them, but like just that crazy like super heavy like dirty, it was awesome.
It's definitely like the first impression you get of the game is definitely like the music, like right when it kicks in the menu. That's what draws you in my opinion.
I remember
actually I should play some of this. If you could send me some of this music from your list so I can play it underneath this whole thing, that's probably a good idea.
All right, cool.
I remember I was watching like the Giant Bomb recap videos for their Game of the Year stuff, and I can't remember if Hotline Miami won for like best music or best
soundtrack.
Best soundtrack.
They had
they did win best soundtrack.
Yeah, it was like mixed in with like original and non-original.
Yeah. But like I remember because like they would like they do their fun video stuff, and then they like have like a fake commercial break, and it's like brought to you by best soundtrack, and then they'll play like a clip from the game, and the clip from the game had music from the game, obviously, and it was this is terrible.
It was
like,
I wouldn't say
this beat out Fez and Journey.
I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it was definitely they didn't pick a good one. Like and that's it. That goes like just on an offhand thing. I think every one of the clips that they've picked for all of the Giant Bomb, like, here's the award that we're giving out things, have always been terrible. Like, they gave the award to Journey for best looking game, and, like, they pick a part of the game, it's just kind of like, this looks all right.
Yeah, they show
like,
the sand level when you're, like, sliding down.
Yeah, like, they didn't even pick, like...
That's, like, the thing to see of that game.
Yeah, I feel like the
Do you think they did that on purpose? Because for the Far Cry 3, for, like, best moment or something, when you're setting the pot fields on fire...
Yeah.
They show you looking at the pot fields on fire, and then just the guy turns and walks away.
It's so weird. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's just like a quick cut thing they have to do. Like,
yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just, and also like all the Walking Dead stuff. It was all the like road argument scene from episode 3, which is like a good thing to pick. Yeah, but then they gave Walking Dead like 5 awards, and it was all like. All the clips like right next to each other, and they're using Vinny's save file, so we had Doug alive. What?
I know, that was really weird to see. I was like, what the hell?
Come on, guys. No one gives a shit about this scene if it's Doug.
And to be fair, I heard that if you keep Doug like in the
Nope.
In the where's it in like the trailer park place where you live, the motel, the motor inn. He like sets up a really cool defense system or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I think like cool. It's so much more powerful. It's like the kind of love story between Lee and like that's about to happen.
Well, can you have a love story between Lee and Doug? That sounds all right.
Yeah, it's like there's so much less punch if it's Doug instead of Carly.
Like, when he dies, you're just like, oh shit, he's dead. But when Carly, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, you're like pissed off.
Yeah, that was serious.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save the Walking Dead talk for later on, but that actually, I think that brings us to the end of our first Game of the Year podcast episode thing. That's been our special lists, and so come back tomorrow for downloadable small downloadable game of the year.
Small in quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like it's
download only.
It's low price. It's download only game that is less than $25. Or it's not even download. It's just game that's less than $25. That's all it is. And you know what? Like Giant Bomb's been talking about this. I think this is going to be the last year that we do like a separate down because it's not making any sense.
I think we should get rid of the downloadable category, but then make top 12 lists.
That's ridiculous. But we will talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.